Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So in today's video we are going to be talking about another variety of succulent. Now this is from a completely different genus called as Sinocrassula Indica. Now the colors are not very visible on this and I'm not very sure how to explain the colors on this succulent. So what I'm going to do is I'll put up an image of the succulent from Google so that you will be able to understand how the color tends to look like. It's a very different color from rest of our succulents. It's like something in between of maroon and a burgundy color, as in when you expose it to a lot of light. If you're going to keep it in indirect bright light, this is how it's going to look like, because I had kept it in indirect bright light. So the colors are not very visible. It had some colors, but now it's reverting back to green because of lack of light. Now Sinocrassula also tends to go, I'm not very sure, but from my guess, I think it tends to grow during the winters, and summer is their dormant period because it has the crassula in it. But again, I'm not very sure, but this is what I feel, that it would be a growing succulent in winters and a summer dormant succulent. Now talking about the care requirements is the same. The soil has to be loose, porous and well draining. Ensure when the soil is completely bone dry, that is when you tend to water. If you are confused about watering, you can take a look at the succulent. I'm going to give a closer look and you will be able to see the leaves don't look very plump, and if I'm going to touch the leaves, you can see the leaves are very soft and they have these wrinkles, which indicates that this succulent is thirsty and it requires a good amount of watering. So for that we will have to do a complete watering, which I'm going to show you to in this video. So I have my DIY bottle handy. Now I've just kept a container. It's not necessary because I don't want to wet this table, so I'm just going to be using this container as to capture that water. So you'll have to do the complete watering until the water starts passing through the drain hole. And it is the same process of watering. Do not drop any water on the succulent leaves, especially if your succulents are kept out in direct sunlight. You do not want them to come in contact or you do not want to drop any water on them, otherwise they will get burnt. So this is one of the succulent that I have, and I have another one which is in another pot. I will definitely show it to you once I'm done with the watering. Sunlight, as I said, after acclimating it, you can give it a good amount of morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours. That is only when you will be able to see those beautiful intense colors, as I've shared the picture on the screen. The colors look absolutely beautiful and the succulent itself looks absolutely beautiful with those stress colors. So if you are a beginner, you want a succulent that has a very different structure to it, if you want a succulent that has a very different color from your regular succulents, then Sinocrassula Indica is one of the succulent you can add it in your collection. It's a very super easy to grow succulent, provided you give the basic care requirement. Now this succulent will also do quite well with a lot of people who are from a slightly humid environment, but again you have to be a little bit careful, as I've spoken about this earlier as well. Whenever you are from a place wherein the humidity is very high, you have to ensure that you are using a soil mix that tends to dry faster and a pot that tends to absorb that excess moisture from the soil, because we want to have a soil that does not retain a lot of moisture, especially for people who are from a high humidity area. So the plant is very simple to grow. Propagation is very simple. Now this was a single plant, but it has started to put up a lot of pups around. This was the second head that just came up, and this was the only one that I had. So they basically tend to grow in a clump. Now let me check if the watering is completed. The watering is not done. As I said, my soil was completely bone dry. That is why you could see that there were a lot of wrinkles on the leaves. But now, as I have started to water it, it is going to take a while for them to completely get soaked. And this is the best part about concrete pots. You can see it is starting to the pot was also very dry. So now as soon as I started to add water, and as you can see, the pot is starting to pull out that moisture from the soil, because the pot was completely dry, and slowly the entire pot will change its color. It is very light grey in color and it will soon turn dark grey in color. This is a very good thing that I like about concrete pots. They also give you an update whether your soil is dry or not. Now my soil is completely still dry, so I'll have to go ahead and do some more watering in it. So now you can see the water has started to pass through the drain hole, which indicates that we are done with a complete watering. And you would also notice that the color of the pot will also start to change its color. This is the dry part, and this is where the moisture is starting to set in. So this is the best thing what I like about concrete pots. Ensure that you do not have a lot of organic matter in the soil. Let it be a very lean nutrient soil, and that is going to work out really well. And that's exactly what tends to work out for almost all of the succulents. They are not very heavy feeding plants, so it's the best thing that you can do is reduce the amount of organic matter in the soil. So that's all about it. I will also quickly show you my other Sinocrassula Indica, which is in a full morning direct sunlight. So this is the other one. You can see this one has a little bit more color because it is exposed to morning direct sunlight for around 5 to 6 hours. Though it has been a little bit cloudy of late, but still it has maintained that color. And as you can see, this is where there are going to be more pups coming up beneath. So that is how you can propagate them. Once they reach a decent size, you can separate them. They tend to grow more into clumps, so they absolutely look beautiful in you can use a small little bowl as well. They will tend to fill up the entire bowl in a matter of time, and they look absolutely beautiful. So if you have this succulent, or if you're planning to buy this succulent, please go for it. It's a very easy to grow succulent, gets really beautiful intense colors. So if you are interested in a succulent that looks a little bit unique, you can definitely add this in your collection. So guys, I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.